Our next alumnus that we're recognizing, again, I will point you to the official bio, Dr. Al Weaver. And he has had a storied career. His consulting company has been in operation for 46 years, plus 9 years of government work before that. So I think he needs a 50th work anniversary that should have passed by now. One of the other things that really distinguishes Al is that he is an avid fitness or athlete himself. He's run a number of marathons and works out 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, and does not miss a day. And that is inspiring for the rest of us. And he has put that work ethic not only for fitness, but also for his career in ergonomics and safety. And so please join me in welcoming and congratulating Dr. Al Weaver.
I just told you I'm not a doctor. That's something's going to happen that I'm not aware of. So, as the bio points out, and Williams, one of my staff, is sitting at the front table over here. You keep me time-wise where I need to be. Okay. If I take my glasses off, I can't really see that good. I got cataracts starting to form, and they said I'm not ready to take them off yet. They've told me that the last 3 years. If I take the glasses off, I can't really read unless I get my readers on. So I'm just going to speak what I call extemporaneously and off the cuff. And I'll see where it goes. We're going to keep me on track, signaling to me how much time I got left or when to stop. So, undergraduate work was at Western Carolina University. I was accepted to NC State. We didn't have any money for me to go to NC State. We had land, but we didn't have any money. Now, this is a really important point. To me, it is. I have to do it with Wolfpack sign before you try to get the numbers right. My great uncle, Wolfpack sign, was the first governor of Tennessee. That did me no good whatsoever in funding my education at Western Carolina. But he had a 320-acre farm, and he had 119,000 acres of land, mostly in Tennessee, that he had gotten from the work that he did, or it's in a text I read, for the Revolutionary War. He was a general also in the Revolutionary War. The lineage from him also included Robert Rice Reynolds, who was a senator from North Carolina. Very, very colorful person. I knew him from the standpoint of he would come to my Granny Weaver's house and bring her some liquor, which she put under the bed that she was sleeping in, because she had arthritis so badly that her hands were gnawed, her knees were gnawed. She always wanted me to say, here's how I got my knees wrapped. But she also had that liquor under the bed. Night she got feeling real bad. She'd give a little sip of it, get her on through the night. She lived to be about 86, 87 years old. Had a good life, did what she had to get by. Never mind that she had two of her brothers were the most notable physicians in Asheville at that time, so a large family. And they were the ones that set up the water purification system for the city. So again, none of all that. We had a lot of land before they started having to sell it to fund the five of us, or five of us kids. I was the oldest of the five to go through school. My brother, a year younger than me, was probably smarter than me. I was the only one of five that got an academic scholarship, and that was to Western Carolina. Didn't pay a whole lot, but it was some of it. So I got real used to having an old car. Half the time it wouldn't start. If it was raining, it was going to snow. I thought, unless I got somebody to give me a ride home, I'm just going to stay right here on campus this weekend. But when it did get out there, we had to learn how to do what we call it the Weaverville shuffle. You get on the side of the road, you live like it. "Are you going my way?" Matt was all, "Are you going my way?" "Yeah, you going my way? Can I get a ride with you?" Sometimes it worked. Had the best clothes I had on at that time. And sometimes we got a ride, sometimes we didn't. Sometimes we walked back to the dorm. Becky Brown was here, who was in school with me at Western Carolina. And when I go to the roads, I went this morning before I went from the dorm down to Highway 107, took me to Silva, and then from Silva, awesome mountain, and down to Waynewood Grocery. We made that run a lot, but that's where we had to go to get beer at that time. Waynewood Grocery was the closest place to Western Carolina, because Jackson County, where Western Carolina was a dry county at that time. And there were a lot of cars making that run back and forth. So there, you had to go all the way to Asheville to get hard liquor. Beer was a good time. That's up. Anyway, got through to Western Carolina, fished there. In a liberal arts program, they did not have a more technical program at that time. They had industrial arts. Going back now, if they had either a STEM program or industrial arts, because they did have industrial arts, probably would have gone into that rather than liberal arts I was in. Wasn't there, so I did what was there. After that, I had 4 job offers. One was Carolina Power and Light. Now it's Duke Energy. Also one with the probation and parole department, and one with Armoring Company. Now it's owned by ConAgra in Jacksonville, Florida. I've worked there for my father 4 years during the summer, and one with the Department of Labor, which is the one I took. The one that was most interesting was one that was proper probation and parole. The individual there said, and I knew this, I played 1 year actively football in high school. I weighed 102 pounds in the 9th grade. 102 pounds. I was 5 feet 2 inches tall. And when it's coming up against people that weighed 180 pounds, you really learn how to use your body. You had to, or you get abused quickly. We had a drill, for those that had played football, we had a drill called Bull in the Ring. You know, anybody remember that? One person be in the center, and the rest of you be around, and the football was standing. Maybe you flip feet back and forth, and all of a sudden the coach called out Weaver or Albert or number 44. And my job was just take off as fast as I could and hard as I could and put that guy on the ground. And I was putting this guy down so hard, so fast. He weighed about 135 pounds. He was probably the next person closest to me weight-wise. 102 pounds, 135 pounds. I put him down on the ground every time. He played 2 more weeks and quit. So he got tired of it. He got tired of being ridiculed. "Why are you letting him do it? Put you down." "I can't see where he is, where he's coming from." So you learn to maximize what you got. As Judy pointed out, I have segued pretty much in the last 40 years I've been running, 42 years I've been running regularly, every day, just about for a long time. I had to run a lot of marathons, triathlons, including 3 iron distance triathlons where you swim 2.4 miles, then you back 112, then you run a marathon, 7.6.2 miles. And you have to get it done in under 17 hours. Sometimes it's been real close. I got it done. We got the medals on all of them. Can I still do it? Well, I do swim because I swim right now every Thursday morning at the club, University Club. I swim 2.3 miles. Very close to the iron distance, swim 2.4 miles. I can still do it. And there's all right there. I just run would now be the one I would be worst about. I watched some of the faculty I had in the fitness. They've been so inspiring to me. I swim with 3 guys over here. The dean of the Campbell Law School is here. Swims with us during the summer. Thank you, Rich. Also, Wayne County Superior Court Judge Paul Ridgway was sitting on the same table. And local artist extraordinaire Thomas Sear, Cheryl Wall downtown, the lights on, trying to think of the name of the road, Lakewood of the Road, near the Dix Park. All the fancy lights are there. And Mike Croxton is in there 5 days a week, hard workout. All of them are very successful in their career. The others I look around and I try to take time up to call everybody else because, but I can say that one person sitting in the room, Tom Hudson, who was head of IE for a while, before it was ISE, I guess, taught there also and challenged in his, where he was playing handball. Anybody in his student who could beat him in handball was guaranteed an A in class. Nobody ever beat him, right? I pay really close attention to what people do to stay alive as long as they can. There was a 60 Minutes that Norm MacDonald interviewed on that last Sunday night about all the things that she talked about, or he talked about. In fact, he went to Stanford Medical School. He got nothing in terms of nutrition. He got nothing in terms of exercise, physiology, and how important that is to stay alert, stay focused in the work that you're doing, to keep you living as long as you possibly can. The two people on the staff at IE that had the most influence on me were probably Frank Guthrie, Dr. Frank Guthrie, in a toxicology class, and Dr. Mahmoud Ayub, who was the chair of my committee in the biomechanics and ergonomics. Let me say first about Dr. Guthrie. He had multiple sclerosis. He came to class walking with a cane. Stood on platform, stood up the whole time. And he talked about air conditioning, got on it, plus all the other things he was talking about. He said, there are only 7 days in line during summer where you truly need air conditioning. We didn't have any really money, Sarah and I didn't. And one child was already there. We turned off the air conditioning. It's still sitting behind our house. That was 1976. And we don't use air conditioning now. You can get used to it, you acclimatize to it. We sleep better. She doesn't have as many sinus issues as a result of it. People that are kids sometimes fuss a little bit about coming over, and there's no AC there, but we get by. We like it is. I had a guy that was working with us. He was something he was done here today. So he was talking about he was in the Army Reserves, and he had a 2-week sojourn he needed to go on. And he said, we're going to be required to sleep no more than 4 hours per night. I said, I don't think that's impossible. I don't think I can do it. I said, well, Lee, when I was in graduate school at State, I was also working full time. I went to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. I got up at 6 o'clock. I did that all week long. You can do it. And I lost a lot of weight. I didn't need to be carrying anyway. I got down about 130 pounds, about what it was when I was in high school career, about that period of time. You can do it. He came back, wanted me first thing on job. I got down to that point, I lost a lot of weight, but he needed to lose weight anyway. So everything's possible. We could all do it. I have surrounded myself, some of my staff, persons here, that a lot of them came through either IE or mechanical engineering or several of them in biomedical engineering, which is a combination of the engineering they get at NC State and the medical they get at Carolina. And that's been also the person that had the most influence on me, no doubt about it, was Dr. Mahmoud Ayub. His son is here, dangerous here somewhere today. Dr. Ayub is out of deceased, faculty. He had a civil engineering degree from Egypt. And he had 2 additional engineering degrees, master's and PhD from Texas Tech. And he taught ergonomics at State. And he quickly let you know who was in charge of what your role was and what your limits were. I'm finishing up. My wife is telling me to wrap it up. Tell you one story about Dr. Ayub. we had a massive contract with the Navy while he was at NC State for the Naval Air Rework Facilities. There were 6 of them that I was familiar with. 4 of them toured: Cherry Point, Marine Corps Air Station, Norfolk, and Navy Yard there, Alameda, right across the bay from San Francisco, and North Island in San Diego. Well, he had gone on a tour with somebody and written on a big job. That was a huge contract we worked on for years. But he had previously he'd had a contract with somebody from the staff went with him. They went to Virginia somewhere. They said that we've got a couple of engineers who will come up there and we're going to do a proposal for you, what all we can do to help improve your ergonomics and safety program. They were out on the plant floor looking at a piece of equipment. It was a gauge, a PSI on it. So the other person that was with me looked down and said, "So-and-so, what is this PSI?" And the guy looked back and said, "I thought you said y'all were engineers." I didn't let this be. He said, "I am an engineer." And I looked to the third guy who made the comment about what is this PSI. It's, "Oh, I know what PSI is." I mean, in this instance here, where the host employer was floored and finally was able to blurt out, "Well, this panel's for square inch gauge pressure." That was it. But he could quickly let you know you're outside your bounds. I appreciate everybody who has nominated me and passed off on me for this award. It's been a lot to me as USS. I'm now in my 56th year working. I am not going to retire and be the worst thing in the world that could ever happen to me. I'll keep on going. I thank you all for allowing me to talk. Thank you.